defending champions, getting us an exciting season.
Definitely going to be an...
Too long ago, as we take a look at Coach Yu Hoshide, who's been at the helm at Kaya. How do you stay hungry as a team with so much success? As we take a look at Ronel Hiner. A new role, new responsibility. Bediza getting it to Bedik. He's going to fire it left-footed. Wonderful goal.
But no one really closing Bedik down. He had that short time and space. Now with the defensive duty.
Chance here. Mike Ott finds the side netting. Opens his account for Kaya FC Iloilo.
And fires that at the back of the net.
Wide, Bedik. Looks like it's going to be handball. Can he make it 3? Meliza sends Viral the wrong way. Looking to build up. But they've given it away cheaply. Mike Ott wriggling free and setting up a teammate. Oh, how did that not go into the back of the net? Komaki. And this time, no mistake. Let's have a look at it here. Clearly onside. It looked like he was just behind. Daniels curving the run well. Meliza falling for Daniels here. Finds the room and buries it.
Great composure, skill, and class just outside that 6-yard box.
Komaki. Daniels trying to corral that. Komaki now, finally, into the back of the net.
He seemed like he was going to shoot, going for that further post. But cuts that in and goes first post.
Ugas finding Daniels. Second opportunity, squares it for Komaki. And it's back-to-back. Nobody in his vicinity. Eliza checking in. Bugas sets up Komaki. And it's going to be an easy goal for Martini Ray.
To see Martini Ray right behind that defensive line.
Diano. Firing it left-footed, and that's going to trickle in. We'll be playing a left back. To conclude this match, Komaki shot is spilled. Meliza is there to pick up the pieces.
And it was also been hard for De La Riarte to really just get in the groove of the game.
Here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. And that one right in front of Audi Menzi. Great run from Bugas. We're going to pick out a teammate. Finds Meliza. Finds his hat trick.
And the continued run of Meliza to know what Daniels was going to do.
Sending out a strong message to start things off this season. Meanwhile, for Philippine Army, back in the Philippine top flight.
Good afternoon, football fans, and welcome back to the PFL. And Diego, I'm actually with Diego here. It's our first Sunday triple header in Rizal Memorial Stadium. I'm Vinny Vinculado alongside Diego Cordero, and we've got an exciting matchup lined up for today. And there you have it. We do have our Stadion Laguna FC lineup here. Valenzuela PB Mendiola FC with their 4-3-3 formation. And with that, we also have our substitutions for both of these teams. And we'll just begin in a few minutes. Again, if you are tuning in, this is Stadion Laguna FC playing from left to right in their pink and white jersey. And Valenzuela PB Mendiola FC playing from right to left. Corner kick. An opportunity maybe. A header! Dangerous play from Stadion Laguna. Stadion tries it on the left side. A lot of bodies in the dangerous area. Tapas clears it out of danger. The captain. You can see here pressure is really high. Oof. Good turn. Good turn there. Straight at the keeper, Zambrano. Dominant force on the attacking forefront. And an opportunity here again. Oof, great footwork there on the left side. No foul given though.
Kedman is continuing to be a nuisance for that defense of Valenzuela PV. His footwork.
No foul yet here. And it is given.
Especially against the opponent like Stallion, who do usually lure a lot of fouls.
Ooh, great save there from Zambrano again from the set piece.
It's expected that this will be the state of the game. There's a chance here.
Outside the box. An opportunity, takes it. No foul given. Ball finds its way to Galeana.
Oh, penalty.
Opportunity for Stallion Laguna to take the lead. Finn McDaniel. And it's a goal. Bottom left corner. And that is expected from him.
Yeah, there you see his trademark celebration, but there's no surprise in that outcome. Sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. It's such a confidently taken penalty. And was helpless there. Guessed the wrong way, and I think maybe even if he gets the right way, it was such in the corner that might have not even saved it anyway. I think if you're Valenzuela PV Mendiola, you might be disappointed in the fact that you held on. Or here it is again.
Great through ball. A chance here, a lot of grass, takes it, and it's a goal! Gets it in. Kedman with a celebration. Moments of the matches, he's been deadly with the ball. He sets his shooting boots and just slots it the right hand side of the corner. Zambrano couldn't do anything about it. And again, it's those through balls that got them the goal.
Yeah, this time he timed the run to perfection. No offside.
Great body feint. In the middle, no one there to get it. To Stallion. Finds Lapas in the middle. Takes it. Great run here again from Kidman, the left side. Feeds it through. A chance maybe.
City Stadium, but don't worry, there will be transportation as always.
Yes, medyo malayo New Clark. But wait, hold on a second. Action here. Zambrano quick on his feet. Will they hold on from the onslaught of attacks from Stallion? Oof. To left against Valenzuela, PB Mendiola FC. Playing from left to right. And Kedman again in his favorite left position, just crosses it in the middle. Opportunities, you don't get that much, especially when you're playing a big team like Stallion Laguna. In the middle!
Again! And then they also have a player on the bench, Diallo, who was part of the Arsenal and Brighton Premier League Academy before. So a lot of talented attacking signings for Stallion in this season.
Speaking of talent, Galeana in the middle. And it is a goal. Gets it in. Finally, it is Sandra who slots that one in.
There. Here's the replay. Galeana, good work, good strength. The cutback was precise, and there's absolutely no way Sandra, a player of his quality, is missing that chance from there.
Great work then from Galeana, who has been a potent source in the attacking front.
Pass, if it was more precise, would have been a chance maybe.
Ooh, Galeana. A chance here, McDaniel. Ooh, just hits. Sandra passes it out the left side. Kidman, great back heel. Cuts it back. Where Stallion has the ball. Ooh, a late challenge there.
A lot of targets for Finn McDaniel.
Waiting for the referee to blow his whistle. Free kick for Stallion. Whips it in. Ooh, it's a direct shot actually.
Ivanovsky coming on. Two really good attackers.
Kedman, great through ball, takes it. Trying to look for Galiana. Oh, an easy tap in. And it's a goal. It is 4-0. Stallion Laguna once more. They're expressing in the same celebration, his trademark.
Well, it was only a matter of time before he took one of those chances again.
Steered out of danger. Another cross in a dangerous area. Ooh, another.
Malevolence. Name reveal naman dyan, please. But shout out to you guys. And we also have a corner here.
Ooh, what a save! And a chance here! Oh no!
Well, all the Mendiola players, hands on their heads. How did that not go in?
Even my hand is on my head. Oh my goodness. Could have gotten a consolation goal at least. Valenzuela.
It did, so there was no one on the goal line off the post after this clearance. And how did this not go in? They both tried to shoot the same ball, and honestly, I think they'll not want to watch.
But a good chance nonetheless. Again, they have to capitalize on opportunities like that. But on the other end, and doing stuff here all of a sudden, Stallion Laguna. And Matin gets it.
This game is opening up now, becoming more like a basketball game. End-to-end stuff.
Yun na nga, end-to-end nga. A chance here. Will he get it? It is a goal for Ivanovsky. Gets it in. Stallion, Ivanovsky, behind the ball. Whips it in. Looks for a header there, Bezerra.
Yeah, again, now the international break, so it will be good for... It's always good for a team that they go into the international break on a positive because they don't play for 2 weeks.
To be man of the match is an honor, you know. Personally, I'm not actually happy with my own performance, but the team overall was phenomenal today. Today we made a statement. Just getting my chances and being patient, you know. This team is phenomenal as we speak. There's so much promise in it, so to be able to actually plug in after 2 to 3 games is a dream come true, you know. This team is great, and like I said, there's a lot of potential in there.
No less than the defending champions, getting us an exciting season.
Definitely gonna be an
Too long ago, as we take a look at Coach Yu Hoshide, who's been at the helm at Kaya. How do you stay hungry as a team with so much success? As we take a look at Ronel Hiner, a new role, new responsibility. Bediza getting it to Bedik. He's gonna fire it left-footed. Wonderful goal.
but no one really closing Bedik down. He had that short time and space. Now with the defensive duty.
Chance here, Mike Ott finds the side netting. Opens his account for Kaya FC Iloilo.
And fires that at the back of the net.
Wide, Bedik. Looks like it's going to be handball. Can he make it 3? Meliza sends Viral the wrong way. Looking to build up. But they've given it away cheaply. Mike Ott wriggling free and setting up a teammate. Oh, how did that not go into the back of the net? Komaki. And this time, no mistake. Let's have a look at it here. Clearly onside. It looked like he was just behind. Daniels curving the run well. Meliza falling for Daniels here. Finds the room and buries it.
Great composure, skill, and class just outside that 6-yard box.
Komaki. Daniels trying to corral that. Komaki now, finally, into the back of the net.
He seemed like he was going to shoot, going for that further post.
Let's start the month of April with a match from the opposite sides of the standings as Philippine Army FC takes on the defending champions Kaya FC Iloilo in their second round fixture of the 2025-26 season of your Philippines Football League. Jamer De La Cruz alongside Natasha Alquiros Dato here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium, and like what we've mentioned, it's Philippine Army against Kaya FC Iloilo. Polarizing sides on the league standings so far, and we've already seen how they paired up in the first round. What are we going to be expecting on the second round fixture out here, Tasha?
We can expect these two teams with very different goals in mind, they will approach this matchup. Of course, the temperature, the heat index will play a big factor as this game goes on to see how they will fix their squad, how they will maintain the tempo of this match. But as we've mentioned, Kaya, who are currently in fourth spot, they're coming from not the best of forms after getting back-to-back losses and then back-to-back draws against teams that are orbiting around the same level as them. Now, currently, Taguig, Manila Digger, the draws against Cebu and Stallion. Kaya are coming into this game very hungry to prove and show that they still belong at the top of the table. They're still gunning for that four-peat. So this game today will definitely be an implementer of that. They want to stay in the top flight. While for the side of Philippine Army, currently at dead last, they still have not won a game. They have 2 draws and 15 losses to their names. They did suffer back-to-back big defeats against Manila Digger and Taguig. But before that, there were also moments that Army went up against Agalas, held them close. They've gotten draws against the likes of Maharlika and Tuloy, and they're here to try to survive and to be the disruptors this season.
Well, certainly Philippine Army would like to disrupt the form that is Kaya FC Iloilo has right now on their side. As we look into their previous matchup, I think it's about the second match day of the season that they've faced each other. The first time in the 2025-26 season went towards the side of Kaya FC Iloilo, winning by 12 goals to nil. In that fixture, Janjan Meliza, who had a hat-trick in that game, as well as Shuto Komaki and Mike Ott scoring a brace. And joining the scoring party was Marty Miray, Jovin Bedic, Odi Menzi, Mart Diano, and Kenshir Daniels when he was still here at the Philippines Football League. So are we really judging that Philippine Army is going to concede more goals, especially that this is kind of a pick-me-up game for KFC Iloilo in the upper half of the standings?
You'd say that this is also not the same Philippine Army that was when the league started. As we've mentioned, though they did suffer back big losses, we've seen them come out and really disrupt games, like getting the big draw against the likes of Maharlika and, as we've mentioned, against Iloy. So they're showing, especially since 2026 started, that they are racking up some points, getting some goals in play. And when you take a look at the Kaya FC team, from the 12 goals that they scored against Army in that first round, the 6 goals of those that have come from the likes of Melissa, Daniels, Diano, Bedic, those players are not starting in today's match. So we'll see how this game goes. All the teams are coming in from that break, from that national team and that FIFA window, and we'll see how Philippine Army adjust to the mistakes that were made in that first round.
Well, Philippine Army displayed a bit of promise after they have gotten that 1-1 draw against Maharlika FC a month ago, but since then they have found rock bottom in the last 4 games, more particularly the last game they had against Manila Digger FC as they conceded 10 goals. So with that game, they are now the second team in the league that conceded most goals in the entire tournament. So they're going to be looking for a better run of form against KFC Iloilo in this matchup. Pretty much it's something that they want to get that win or at least add another point to their side. As we look into the starting lineups for Philippine Army, you have Carl Viray starting on goal. You have John Sell is available once again for their side, and Gemar Cortez being their team captain. But if there's one person that you want to look into out here in this squad, Tasha, who is going to be?
It's definitely going to be John Celis. He has been the focal point of the team's offense. He has racked up some goals. He has been the top scorer for the side of Philippine Army, and they will be relying on him in this matchup. He also just came back again with the squad. He's been gone because of cards accumulated alongside the likes of Ariola. So now you have Ariola and Celis back on that first 11. They have rotated a couple of players in the squad as well. The likes of Sapal not in that starting 11. But when you have a 3 p.m. kickoff, you can expect that there will be a heavy rotation and all substitutions will take into play throughout the matchup.
Well, you have Philippine Army out there. We've already mentioned John Celis is the one to watch for Philippine Army. Whenever he's in the field for Philippine Army, be it at the starting lineups or as a substitute for Philippine Army FC, he's always that battery in midfield, that guy that you would like to inject more energy into the squad. Whenever he gets the ball in midfield, it is expected of him to find the open spaces, dribble past a couple of players, and find that open space up front to open up the goal scoring for them. But other than those factors that he's playing in, Tasha, what else can John Celis do in order to lift this side of Philippine Army towards their first possible victory in the season?
It's all just about being clinical up on top and being able to get those pressure as well. And just to add on to Celis, we also have to take a look at Jalsor Soriano, who has played for Kaya once upon a time. He is one of the leaders as well. And the coach will definitely rely on the team captain and all these veteran players to get a good result today.
Well, let's see what Philippine Army FC has in stock with us. We have their head coach, Ronel Hiner, for the coach's interview.
No, good afternoon po. I'm Assistant Coach of the City from Philippine Army Football Team. Expectation po namin ngayon sa team is na po magawa namin yung game plan namin against Powerhouse, Kaya FC. And then regarding naman sa team is okay naman yung team. Continuous training po sa araw-araw namin nagawa. Yan lang.
Well, continuity is what the assistant coach, Besite, is looking for Philippine Army. Yes, they know their position in the league standings. They know where they're at and they know the opposition that they have in front of them. They are expecting that the 11 men on the field as well as the substitutes will be ready to give Kaya FC Iloilo hell. As we talk about the defending champions on the other side, they're currently fourth in the league, 35 points in 17 matches. They're coming off that 1-1 draw against Cebu FC, but the Dynamic Herb Sports Complex before the international break. Problem was they were actually coming from behind on that game, and if not for Martini Rey who scored that equalizer, they could have faced 3 straight defeats in the last window before we went into the international break.
And Kaya FC at the moment, they're finding themselves in unfamiliar territory. They're lurking around that 4th spot. In the last 2-3 years, they've been at the top of the season and have stayed on top until the very end. But now, this is really what makes or break championship caliber teams if they can dig themselves out of these kinds of situations and how quickly they can bounce back on winning ways. We take a look at the Kaya FC first 11 for this matchup. You can see a couple of rotations for the side of Coach Yu Hoshide. There is a rotation with goalkeeper Pepito Hayason gets the start for Kaya FC. Rotation as well in that back line. Arboleda finally back on that first 11, and you're gonna see Basindanan on that opposite end. Menzi and Malumansoko will play the center backs, and then your midfield line of Yamazaki, Eso, and Ot. You have Shuto Komaki on the left, Martini Rey on the right, and Mirbach up on top. And we take a look at that player to watch, Martini Rey. And you could tell that he is definitely one of the versatile players for KFC, one of the young up-and-coming players that has been proving to their squad that he is capable of scoring goals, not only in against the lower tier teams, but in big fixtures and with games that matter a lot.
Well, Ray has worked his way into the starting lineups. This is his second start in the last 3 games for KFC Iloilo. What do Coach Yoshide has for us? We listen in to the head coach of KFC Iloilo.
Yes, sir.
It's Philippine Army FC versus KFC Iloilo round 2 in your 2025-26 Philippines Football League, as we have the team captains Eric Eso and Gemma Cortez in the middle of the field, with our first referee Jesus Abogado, who will be assisted by Relly Balila and Aldous Mirafuentes. Our fourth official is Rodney Leble, and our match commissioner is Robin Cainglet. First win of the season, still loading for Philippine Army FC. On the other hand, the first win in the last 5 games is something that is up for grabs for KFC Iloilo. As we look into the starting 11 once again of Philippine Army FC, Carl Jupiter Viray will be starting on goal. The defense will be built up by Jalsor Soriano, Sai Villaseñor, Jessica Belgira, as well as Darwin, again, the team captain Gemma Cortez. The midfield will have Jomar Acedo and John Celis, alongside Kier, John Napolitano, and Johnny Toledo. And up front, the lone man up front will be Jimuel Ariola. We'll be taking on the side of KFC Iloilo with Hyson Pepito starting on goal. And Fatima Luanzoko gets a start as well. Shudo Komaki, Mike Ott, near back up front. Arboleda as well, back in the starting lineups. The youngsters of Sherwin Basindanan and Martini Rey makes it back into the starting 11. We now observe a minute of silence. That was a moment of silence observed for the matriarch of the LBC group, Connie Gonzalez Araneta. And again, talking about KFC Iloilo earlier on, before the moment of silence, we've had a great look into their starting lineups. We are expecting that KFC Iloilo is going to come out guns blazing in the early goings of this game. As we've mentioned, 4 games without any win. They only got 2 points out of the possible 12 points in the hopes of making it back into the top 1 or top 2 in the Philippines Football League. So let's see how things will pan out for KFC Iloilo in this game against the Army.
For the side of Philippine Army, the hunt continues still for the first win this season. They have not won a match in the PFL in the last 22 games that they've played. They're currently on that 4-game losing streak. But before that, they've also picked up, as we mentioned, those 2 crucial pick-me-ups, because those were the first points that Army have gathered when they had that draw versus Tuloy and they had that draw versus Maharlika. There's a sense of hope within the Army team that if they can pick up from those good momentum matches and carry out throughout in this game, that they can somehow find a way to make sure that Kaya don't run away with the points. As you mentioned, the first time these 2 teams went against each other, it was Kaya that were the dominant team among the 2, a 12-0 victory. That was done and dusted, and it's a new day and a new chance for Army.
Philippine Army starts the game playing from right to left. If there's a time in the Philippines Football League season to get your first win in the bag, surely is going to be against the defending champions of the league, KFC Iloilo. Again, Kaya chasing that first win in 5 games in the hopes of maintaining 4th or even 3rd spot in the league, as we are winding down the remaining matches of the Philippines Football League second round fixtures. They're done with their matches against the top 4 squads in the league. The last possible game that is going to have a huge implication in terms of the league standings would be their game against Aguilas Yumac FC, who's currently in 5th in the league standings, as we have a corner for KFC Iloilo. Early proceedings here for the men in yellow and white. Mike Ott will be taking this corner for them. Ott shaping up for the outswinger, sends one in. Nobody getting the ball in the middle. Komaki giving chase before that cross, but nobody there to gather the ball from Komaki. It's going to be a goal kick for Philippine Army.
KFC, of course, a team that are hungry to get back to winning ways. As we've mentioned, they did have that dip in form after the back-to-back defeats against Wantagig and Manila Digger. They were slowly clawing their way back, getting the draws against Stallion Laguna and the draw versus Cebu. They had to sit with that feeling for a long time during that FIFA window break. And now it's at first test back.
Manzoco starts the play from the back for KFC Iloilo. Shurin Basindanan on the right side, expecting the youngsters of KFC in the pair of the former Tamaraos in Basindanan and Martini Ray. Of course, Ray, the player to watch for this side, who scored that equalizer in Cebu. All-important equalizer to give them the hopes of keeping their spot in the championship round. Basindanan looking for that strike in the middle for Mike Ott, but sends that out and over for a goal kick.
The pass from Ray down the middle to Ott. He sets himself up for a half volley, but just couldn't get that right strike on the ball. Ended up lobbing that over.
Aya putting a bit more pressure on the side of Philippine Army. Basindanan gathers the ball on the right-hand side from Philippine Army. Malumansoko trying to move forward. Their backs asking for it on the right. Mazaki takes it all the way back to Malumansoko. First few minutes of the game, and Kaya looking to thread the needle forward for Esso on the right side. Looking for the cross into the middle. Cleared out by Soriano. Basindanan once again with the ball. There's Mike Ott to the right side for Ray. Takes a shot, blocked once more by the defense of Philippine Army.
You can see Philippine Army with that very low block, trying to make sure that they have the numbers defensively, making sure that those spaces in between will be very few, not even allowing that shot to reach the goalkeeper. Defense doing well to block the chances that Kaya have created.
A win from Philippine Army. They're gonna have a difficult time moving up the field, given how much pressure Kaya is putting on their side and how low they're sitting in defense. Enzi finds Yamazaki, exchanging passes. Now trying to move forward, looking for Martini Ray in the middle. Brings it down for Ott. Couldn't find the pass for Komaki on the left side. Celis now trying to move forward, but Basindanan is there to cover. Philippine Army once again recovering the ball. Good pass from Belgira towards Celis on the left. Now back to the middle they go. Celis. Long ball forward. Good pass to the middle. Finds Ariola, but he was offside. Nonetheless, a good pass from Celis, finding the forward in the middle.
great moment of intent that Army could build on. Celis able to get away from the press on that left-hand side. Pass was perfectly weighted over Malumansoko. Unlucky that it was offside.
Kaya now moving forward on the left side with Shuto Komaki. Brings it back for Arboleda. Wazaki serving as the anchor between the defense and the midfield. You can see Kaya FC Iloilo has put all of their players on the half of Philippine Army. Long ball forward for Mirbach, but the offside flag is up for the number 17.
The well-timed defensive organization for the side of Philippine Army, keeping their line intact, catching Mirbach off. Again, we see Yamazaki now playing again that attacking midfielder role throughout that first round. Did play that center back. And before the season started, a lot of people doubted if he could be able to transition into that spot. And I'd argue that he's been playing better as a center back than he is a midfielder.
He's doing well whenever he's serving as the anchor between the defense and the offense there, because he knows how to make the plays as being a midfielder himself, but also knows how to move back in defense and help out as Mirbach on the offensive for Kaya. Nothing happening there as Basindanan brings the ball down for Esso. Basindanan with a long ball forward, looking for Ott on the far post, with a clearance from Johnny Toledo, conceding another corner here for Kaya.
Basindanan also looking dangerous in the first few minutes of this matchup. Defensively able to cut off the plays and to restart the attack.
Mike Ott with the delivery, finding Martini Rey in the near post, trying for that shot, but hits the side netting instead. There's the shot from Mike Ott, just unable to find the right target.
But good pressure from Regala and Cortez, not allowing Martini Rey to turn while he's receiving the ball inside the box, opting him to pass it back. They made that angle so small and hard for Ott to find anywhere goal mouth.
Closing in on the first 10 minutes of the match. IFC Iloilo still level with Philippine Army, who's trying to move forward, finding Celis in the middle and takes it back to the number 10, Jomar Acedo. Test of patience right now for Philippine Army. We know that they're chasing for that first win of the season. Even so, against the defending champion, Celis has been dispossessed. Now Mirbach taking it back to Basindanan, who's listed as a forward for IFC Iloilo in this game, but playing more of a wingback role for them. NZ, long ball forward once again, looking for Esso. Brings it down from Mirbach, but Saivilia Senor is there to cover. We'll have ourselves another throw in deep into the side of Philippine Army. NZ finding that gap on the right side for Mirbach. Esso looking for the cross. Good block once again by the team captain, Jemar Cortez, at an expense of a corner.
And a great track back there from Cortez. Kaya trying to rack up the plays, but in return, get the corner.
The delivery inside. Here's the shot from Menzi. But overcooked that and sends it out for a goal kick.
Corner delivery from Ott. The bounce right in front of the defenders. Mendy and Malumansoko tried to take it first time off the bounce, but couldn't hit it cleanly. He was leaning back as he took the shot.
We have another chance here for Kaya. Martini, mere back and able to get the ball. He will control it, not anymore, as Philippine Army moves forward with John Celis on the left side. Basindanan is there to cover him, but Celis still with the ball, and he's quite dangerous with it when he's on form. Riola couldn't get that 1-2 with Celis though, but it remains with Philippine Army for a throw. Sai Villaseñor, one of the former Kaya FC Iloilo players, playing alongside Jalsor. Chance for Philippine Army. Ariola, turn and shoot. The Hyson Pepito will not be bothered as that goes out for a goal kick.
One of the best chances that we've seen so far from the side of Army, just taking advantage of that miscue pass there between Malumansoko and Yamazaki. Ariola ended up getting to it. Quickly tries to take a snapshot. That hit it across the face of goal and outbound.
It's the first real threat coming from the Philippine Army. 12 minutes into this game, we are expecting a couple of cooling breaks given the weather that we have here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. Celis now with the ball for Philippine Army. Tracks back, finds Villaseñor. Long ball forward from Villaseñor, nobody up front. Was intended for Johnny Toledo. Was a bit late for the pass, so Kaya will move forward with Eric Eso on the right side. Mere back, helping out. Sai Villaseñor to cover. Now Eric Eso calming things down with Basindanan at the back. Irvin looking for the next pass for the boys in yellow and white. Malumansoko switching the play to the left side for Komaki. Yamazaki moving forward. Finds that through ball for Yamazaki. Back they go for Arboleda. Spending quite some time on the left side. Good 1-2 passing. Yamazaki looking for the cross. There is a deflection. Only as far as Eso. Takes a strike first time, but it's out once again for a goal kick.
See Philippine Army really putting on that low block, making sure that they are superior in numbers within the danger zone. They were able to deal with the initial threat going their way. But that half clearance fell perfectly in front of Eso. A chance wasted as it went over.
So Viray with another goal kick for Philippine Army. Arboleda gathers right away for the yellow shirts. To Arboleda, good passing on that left side once more for Kaya. Mike Ott looking for the switch and finds Basindanan on the right. Threading the needle once again towards Mirbak on the right side. Mirbak with the cross. Martini Rey wasn't ready for the header, as was intended for the number 77 as we go into our first cooling break of the match. This is what we were talking about, Tasha, the weather that we have here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. I think it's 34.1 degrees Celsius out here. So we are going to have a couple of cooling breaks thanks to the regulations given to us by FIFA, especially for countries like the Philippines.
Gone are the days where it was cool and breezy in January and Feb, and as well as in March. As April hit, so did summer. And the full heat index. So we can expect more and more water breaks, most especially with the early kickoff times of 3 p.m. matches. And throughout the first 15 minutes, you'd say that Kaya dominated possession. They found themselves more often than not in the attacking third. This was the one and only chance of the side of Philippine Army that took advantage of that miscue of passes. KFC constantly knocking on the doors of Philippine Army, but they haven't had any shots on target to really test Viray. But they have in and about that attacking third area.
So for KFC Iloilo, looking for that first goal. On the other side with Philippine Army, they've had lesser time with the ball, but whenever they do, especially at that chance given to Ariola earlier, almost threatening Ison Pepito's goal. But at the moment, it's Kaya with more pressure being applied onto the side of Philippine Army.
And if you're a Philippine Army, you want to carry on that momentum block by every 15 minutes, every 10 minutes that you can hold on Kaya FC. That gives you a chance closer and closer to frustrating the club.
Soriano clearing that ball out of danger and finding Belgira on the left side. Sai Villaseñor looking to send this one forward for the number 10, Acedo. The defense is there to cover for Kaya. Yamazaki finding Martini Ray. Back to Yamazaki they go. Couldn't find that next pass towards Mirbach on the right side. Celis, just like what we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, he's going to be all over the field as the player who will help their side into possibly their first win of the season. As we all know, football is a team game, so it's not just one player who will be doing that. It's the entire squad that they have. Even so, they're facing defending champions who still hungry to keep that trophy in their cabinet. Throughout the entire season, we've seen that slip away from them. Now they're currently in fourth. Kaya still unable to find that next goal threat. Villaseñor clears the ball out. Belgira just touching that ball out for a throw-in. I got spreading the ball out wide now for Komaki on the left side. Good pass to the middle for Ott. A chance on goal, hits the right post. Another strike, and finally Kaya opens the scoring on the 19th minute of the game.
That was a great build-up from the back. Able to find those spaces in between. Komaki creating that chance for the side of Kaya FC. And Mike Ott, who has been the danger man for Kaya, broke the deadlock, gets the first goal for Kaya FC. First chance hitting the post, but the second time, no mistake in that. It was a great ball given as well by Komaki to beat all those defenders and to break the line. Komaki setting up Maikot. As I've mentioned, Maikot as well. He's definitely been one of the key signings for the side of Kaya FC Iloilo. If his stats are correct, it's 11 goals and 10 assists to his name.
We'll have to confirm, but the play started with him and he ended it with the goal, adding more to his tally in the Philippines Football League season and giving Kaya FC Iloilo the much needed lead against Philippine Army, because make no mistake, Philippine Army has been slowly finding their way forward and holding Kaya frustrated, and they have another chance here. Kaya, Mike Ott with another strike. This time it's been saved by Viray. Pressure stays on. Not anymore as Villaseñor sends it out for a throw.
Fantastic save from Viray. KFC slowly finding their rhythm, able to find those line-breaking passes just down the middle. Mike Ott timing his runs to perfection, getting that curl in, receiving the ball perfectly to be in that goal-scoring opportunity.
Seems like Kaya has finally broken past Philippine Army here, and it's one thing that they want to do because we've seen teams hold clubs in the upper half of the standings with the likes of Valenzuela, PB Mendiola in their last outing against One Taguig FC. They were able to hold them for the entire match on a 0-0 draw. If not for that penalty in the last minute of the game, would have ended as a draw, and a surprising draw nonetheless for the team who's at the bottom of the standings. And if there's one thing to learn from that, is Mendiola held One Taguig so well in defense, and whenever they have the chance moving forward, they were able to find a couple of chances themselves. Meanwhile, back here in this game, Philippine Army conceding another corner after a dismal clearance nonetheless from Viray.
Have a player down for the side of Army. Slow to get back up, but finally Soriano back on his feet. It's going to be another corner added up for the side of Kaya FC.
Umaki takes this one. Going to the middle for Malumansoko, but a foul is called for a push. And the call was on Mirbach on the far post. So free kick goes to the side of Philippine Army.
And you'd say unlucky with that call. Malumansoko's header connecting to the ball before Viray could get his hands to it. That was goal bound. The foul was called from Mirbach.
Minutes into this game. As soon as Philippine Army found a couple of chances, or quite a chance in front of goal, Kaya FC Iloilo takes that away through Mike Ott, who scored in the 19th minute. You have Mirbach on the right side right now, probing for Kaya. Yamazaki unable to connect with Mirbach. Celis gathers the ball for Philippine Army, spreads it out wide, looking for the number 26 Belgira, but just unable to get his strides ready for it. Zindanan towards the path of Mirbach, intercepted once again by Philippine Army. Celis thinking about going back to the goalkeeper Belgira. Makes it on for Ariola on the left side. Ariola moving forward. Basindanan with a sliding effort. A chance here for Acedo, but Aysen Pepito is ready for the shot. I think a free kick is going to be called here by Jesus Abogado from that earlier foul.
And that was the challenge from Basindanan on to Ariola. Referee opted not to give the call, assuming that the advantage was going to go in the way of Army. And as the advantage didn't play out, the referee decided to give the call.
Celis to take this free kick for Philippine Army. Goes short, straight to the gloves of Aysen Pepito. Now frees up Shuto Komaki on the counterattack. Martini Rey ready for that pass. Looking for the clear chance on goal. Martini Rey with a strike, sending it out wide for a goal kick.
That was quick work in transition from the defense onto attack, and it was crucial, the touch of Komaki to beat the defender, send it on out on that left flank to Martini Rey. Martini Rey with a bit of blinders on when he took the chance. Didn't see he had the support with him as well. Was quick to go for glory.
He's done that many times in the past back in the Far Eastern University Tamaraos in his college playing days. Now in the professional setting, Martin Rey looking for second goal in 2 matches. We'll have to wait. Cel is now on the left flank for Philippine Army. Finds Ariola in the middle. Long ball forward for Belgira, but the flag is up. Will not bother to take that as it already goes out for a throw-in. Ati Malamanzoko sends a long ball forward for Komaki. The first touch he was looking for finds Mike Ott, who's down on the ground, and a foul is called against Philippine Army. Could have been a clash of heads there. Nonetheless, a free kick in favor of Kaya as we look into what happened on the foul.
Maki sent that one up, and the arm of Villasen of Soriano just hitting on the face of Maikot. And the right call being made, set up this opportunity with a good distance for the side of Kaya FC. This is within a shooting range.
Nonetheless, you have Mike Ott shaping to take this free kick for Kaya in the efforts of getting his second goal for the match, but straight to the gloves of Viray. Viray goes for the quick clearance. Control wasn't there for Philippine Army. Arboleda takes it back to Malamanzoko.
And this is where it will get tiring for the side of Philippine Army. After that set piece opportunity, they send that one long, and when the players up on top miscontrol that, that quickly goes for the side of Kaya FC.
Guy's been switching the plays from left to right there, but unable to do so as Arboleda was dispossessed momentarily, and it goes back to the side of Kaya. Mike Ott trying to send the ball forward for Mirbach, who goes down, but no foul is called. So Viray will hold on to the ball and look for that next pass. Soriano sending it up front for Philippine Army. Game's not yet done for them as they have an opportunity up front with Ariola. Ariola with the fake, Basindanan with the block. Foul is committed by Philippine Army. Second chance for Ariola in this game and still unable to find that opening. Maki now on the other side for Kaya. Arboleda couldn't get past defense. A Philippine Army looking to move forward from that right side. Malamanzoko covering well. Pass wasn't completed though. Kaya will have possession once more.
Kamaki is taking up a lot of space and has been important really in those transitional moments for the side of Kaya. Whether it's from defense to attack or attack to defense.
Sindanan once again finding Mirbach on the right side, who hasn't been goal threat so far in this game for Kaya. Had plenty of goals already since coming on the winter transfer window in the Philippines Football League. Hasn't found the back of the net since. Esso with a cross. Omaki with a header down. Viray punches that out for a corner.
was across from the opposite side. Defense was blocking Viray. Just made sure to get that extra touch to it. Para sure.
No nonsense for Viray there. They already conceded one goal. They don't want to concede another one easily. Now Komaki with the corner, with far post for Menzi. Viray once again putting his body on the line. And that is the signal for a cooling break. But what an effort there from Viray to put his body on the line and make sure that Kaya wouldn't get their second goal before we go into this cooling break.
Viray showing not only brave goalkeeping, but he looked unscathed, unbothered after having that contact with Maikot just at the edge of the goal. And despite the scoreline in favor of Kaya FC, you'd say that Army have been doing a good job to keep the margin very close between the two squads.
We've seen Kaya piling on the pressure on Philippine Army after getting that opener from Maikot in the 19th minute. Here's the save from Viray, putting his body on the line, putting everything out there to make sure that Kaya wouldn't get their second goal. And even so, with Maikot getting on that brace, so far, even though it's still a 1-0 advantage for Kaya, still a respectable scoreline for Philippine Army to work with, given the number of goals they've conceded so far in the season. If my eyes did not fool me at the start of the broadcast, I think they've already conceded 107 goals in the season, just one goal shy of Tuloy FC's 108.
But of course, if your Army, it's important to be like a goldfish, have that memory of a goldfish, forget the past right away, tackle each game as you have it. You can't be too strung on past results. And so far in the first 30 minutes of this game, they have stayed organized, they have stayed compact, and they have kept the defending champions at bay.
It's quite a difference in terms of the mindset that Philippine Army has now compared to the previous games that they've had. By this time, if they've already conceded a goal, either Philippine Army is going to self-destruct or they're just going to succumb to the pressure that is being put on by the opposition. But in this game, 33 minutes in, Philippine Army, despite that one goal deficit, trying to find their way forward and even finding a couple of chances themselves through Ariola. It's something that they could keep up and might just give them some hope in this game against Kaya. Possession stays with the defending champions as Menzi spreads it out wide for Basindanan. Mirbach on the right flank, looking for the cross, but Villaseñor once again very wise in keeping tabs of Mirbach, blocking that for a corner.
And also so far with the games played, most especially for the likes of Army, endurance is usually what plays a big factor. And they end up conceding the goals in the last 15-minute stretch of the match. It's so important for them that despite the fatigue and the tired legs, usually that's when the mistakes creep in. But to learn from the past and to tighten up in the last few minutes of the game.
Corner from Mike Ott, unable to find a teammate, but Komaki still fighting for possession and gets Yamazaki in the process. Menzi sending the ball forward, but his former teammate Soriano clears it out for another corner. Mike Ott shaping up for another corner for KFC Iloilo with 5 minutes remaining in the first half. For far post, Viray got a touch to it. They're trying to send it forward. Looking for a deflection, and they do have themselves a throw in. Sousa Bogado not liking Philippine Army doing that or moving forward with the ball from that throw in. They'll have to take it back to the original spot. Yes, senor. Able to find that gap. Mirbach gets the ball for Kaya momentarily. Politano couldn't find an open teammate forward. Kaya once again with possession. Mike Ott need to operate in midfield. Finds Arboleda. Now Shuto Komaki looking for the ball forward for Martin, but the first touch wasn't there for the youngster.
If you're Philippine Army, it's important to end the last 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes of that first half on the best note possible. So far, they've been doing well when it comes to keeping Kaya at bay from those corner opportunities.
They're going to be tested once more with Mirbach finding Martini Rey. Just couldn't get that shot in. You'd even see Komaki and Mike Ott asking for the pass. Martini Rey, once again with the blinders on, just taking that shot out wide for another goal kick.
These the three defenders, Cortez, Soriano, quick to close down the players with the ball inside the box. And that's been the trend so far for Philippine Army. Quickly closing down the attacking threat that Kaya possess in the dangerous areas.
Philippine Army, for what it's worth, they know the type of game that they're playing against Kaya. They know that it's going to be very difficult for them to move forward in attack, as Kaya has been known for those dangerous counterattacks themselves. They're doing their best to hold defending champions to a 1-0 scoreline up until when question is up, as Arboleda takes a strike inside the box, but unable to get that on target.
A spin point delivery from Eso to find the run of Komaki on the flank. Komaki setting up Arboleda to the tee. But Arboleda just couldn't get that shot anywhere within that goal frame. That one sailed over. I feel like it's a bit of deja vu. It's not the first time that Kai have been put in that position where that second ball just outside the box is given towards them. They have the time and space to take a shot, but the shots just haven't been threatening.
Now Komaki on the left side looking to produce something for Kaya as Mirbach receives that cross but unable to get that on target once again.
Komaki has definitely been one of the more dangerous players for the side of Kaya FC in this first half. He has been beating the players 1v1, setting up his teammates. The only thing missing has been that final touch.
The other side for Philippine Army, they're getting the balls out of the dangerous zone, but unable to find any teammates up front as well. Masindanan looking for the cross. Viray with a punch. Komaki heads it down for Mike Ott. Recomposes himself. Komaki on the turn. Mike Ott once again through ball for Arboleda. Looking for the cross, unable to connect. They have themselves another corner. 5 minutes to work with here in the first half. Looking to extend that margin from 1 goals to 2.
A fantastic touch from Viray.
Corner delivery, punched out once again by Viray. He's had plenty of saves already in this game. He's been tested by the attacking side. For what it's worth, he's been doing well aside from that goal that he conceded.
Not specifically saves, but he's just been putting himself in the right position to get a touch for the players in the attacking position, get a chance to have a goal. Goalkeeper has been great at awareness and timing of getting a punch or a touch to the ball to stop the attack.
You could feel that Viray really wants to do whatever he can to disrupt any attack from Kaya, be it the saves, be it the blocks, or even cutting the passing lanes of Kaya. Mirbach unable to find anybody on that left side. Celis with a 1-2. Philippine Army moving forward. Cedo in the middle. Long ball forward from Philippine Army, finding that gap on the right side. Maluman Soko putting his body as well, getting that throw in. Maki finds Esso. He's now moving forward. Mirbach on the right side. What about the cross? Takes the shot instead. And Viray once again with that save to keep the scoreline to 1-0.
You have to give it to Villaseñor. He's been doing well to keep Mirbach at bay. He hasn't been as effective in this first half. And you credit that to the defensive responsibilities and the defenders guarding him, really doing their jobs.
We have another corner to defend here, Philippine Army. Here's the header in, and that is finally into the back of the net for Odi Menzi. Was found well by Mike Ott from the corner. Gives themselves some parity from Philippine Army in the game.
That was a great setup from Ott to find Menzi. And you feel that the goalkeeper as well was found in a no man's land. He went out, he thought he could get the ball, he was nowhere near it. Eventually, the ball connecting cleanly with Odi Menzi. He didn't have to jump that high to connect to it. He just ran into it and headed that one a goal bound. Also the fact that defensively, Army, the best defensively when it came to dealing with that corner opportunity. They didn't have players by the post to keep position, and made it that much easier for Kaya to find the back of the net the second time around.
So once again on the attack, Mike Ott with the pressure on, and Martin Rey found himself offside in that play. Zordi gunning for that third goal of the match, but was cancelled out by that offside flag.
Have to give it to FCC. They've been relentless on the attack. Wave and wave of attack. Corners left and right. Eventually able to get that second goal, and the sweet timing of when to get that goal right before halftime, giving them that advantage coming into the break.
We have ourselves 3 minutes of added time here in the first half. What better way to get that goal? It's Odi Menzi, jersey number 44, on the 44th minute, getting the second goal of the game for Kaya FC Iloilo. I'll be happy with this scoreline heading into the break. So is Philippine Army, because it's still a respectable scoreline compared to the previous matchups. Other than that, they're also making sure that they defend well against the defending champions.
You saw that moment of lapse for the side of Philippine Army. Their focus has been there throughout that first half, and the moment that they didn't set themselves up properly to defend that corner opportunity, that's when Kaya FC were able to get the goal. That's when, the margin of error is so short, so slim.
Maki still looking for that cross, unable to do so. They'll have themselves another throw in for Philippine Army. But again, Kaya FC Iloilo showing the huge gap between them and the Philippine Army, making the boys in green pay for the mistakes that they make in defense, leading into 2-goal advantage heading into halftime. Just about a minute remaining. Sai Villaseñor with the throw. Olimenzi gathers once again for Kaya. Possibly mount one last attack before they head into a break, and possibly another goal before we go to halftime. Omaki finds Arboleda, gives the 1-2. Unable to connect with Mike Ott. The foul is given by Jesus Abogado, and a free kick for Philippine Army.
Of the two teams, it's Kaya FC that are going to come into the break the happier side, more confident side, able to score goals not only through open play, so the fluidity is there in creating chances, but as well in set piece opportunities.
We have another chance here as Martin Rey just guiding that towards the goal after Viray made the mistake. And just like that, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3 for Kaya FC Iloilo. Martin Rey sends us to the break with that third goal of the match.
Martin Rey just ushering that towards the back of the net and rewarded for the pressure that he put on the back line, on the goalkeeper. Say that goal came out of nowhere. Komaki sending that one long. Viray realized he was off his line, couldn't collect with his hands. It ended up hitting his shin, eventually going into the way of Martini Rey, who continued on his run. Luckily, gets the touch to it before he pokes it as it slowly rolled in the back of the net, making it 3 for Kaya FC and making things from bad to worse for Army.
Well, at the end of the first half, and rightly so, Kaya FC Iloilo with a 3-0 advantage over Philippine Army. We'll go into a break. When we come back, halftime stats, analysis, and highlights here at your Philippines Football League. Welcome back here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium, and it's halftime between Philippine Army FC and Kaya FC Iloilo. The defending champions getting 3-0 against Philippine Army, and they're back to where they want to be. Goals coming in from Mike Ott in the 19th minute, followed by Odi Menzi on the 44th, and Martini Rey sending us to halftime with that easy tap-in at the final minute of added time in the first half. So far, it's back to normal for Kaya FC Iloilo after getting that 3-goal advantage over Philippine Army.
Philippine Army tried their best to stay compact defensively. They played that low block, made sure to have the numbers, but eventually, just right before the break, just a lack of focus there in the final minutes right before halftime, and conceded 2 goals in succession to make this 3-0 for the side of Kaya FC. As you mentioned, the first goal came from really fantastic play. Komaki finding the pass to Ott, who eventually found the back of the net to get the opener, and Menzi able to convert from the corner opportunity. There were countless number of corners in favor for Kaya FC, and Menzi connecting, getting his head to it, finding the back of the net to make it a comfortable 2-0 for Kaya FC. But right before the whistle and right before the break, Martini Rey able to make that 1-3. That was not the goal, and it came from this a connection between Otto to Komaki, who sent that one right behind the defensive line. It was an awkward positioning where it was off the defensive line and the keeper decided to come out. But Ray getting a touch to it and his second touch to find the back of the net.
Martini Ray getting himself back into the score sheet after that goal or that equalizer. It's Cebu gets himself back into scoring ways in this game against Philippine Army, as it's been all KFC Iloilo in the first half. We've seen much of the possession going to their side and much of the pressure being applied by the defending champions. As we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, this is some sort of a pick-me-up game for KFC Iloilo. They have gone winless over the last 4 matches. Those precious 12 points going away from them in their title defense this season. And so far, so good for KFC Iloilo in this game, and might just be going back into winning ways as they are wrapping up their final set of games in the Philippines Football League second round. After this, they'll be facing Aguilas UMAC FC to wrap up the season or the second round for them. So possibly just one more side who's also gunning for the championship rounds to face for the defending champions. Meanwhile, for Philippine Army, first and second round hasn't been decent for them, hasn't been beautiful for them. They're still chasing their first win of the season, but by the looks of the game that we have right now, Tasha, it's going to be very difficult for them to get 3 points.
For Army coming into the second half, it's all about maintaining Kaya FC. And for Kaya FC, it's important for them to have goal in mind, to get more goals and to find the back of the net more often. With how this season has been so far, every goal counts. So it's not just about getting the win, but you have to get the goals as well. And when you take a look at possession, 55% for Kaya, 45% for Army, 16 shots, 8 on target, 7 corners, and from all of that, they were able to convert 3. And for the side of Philippine Army, they only had 2 shots, 1 on a target, haven't been able to convert any.
Couple of substitutions at the half for Philippine Army, just in time for kickoff for the second half. A shout out to Coach Johnny Toledo of Philippine Army from Keem Smith 1299 on our YouTube channel. Unfortunately, wouldn't be getting that goal anymore as he's been subbed off, but still a shout out to Coach Johnny Toledo from Keem Smith on our YouTube stream. Back into the game we go as IFC Iloilo going for the quick attack here in the second half, and they get themselves a quick corner as well.
Philippine Army, of course, making 2 halftime substitutions, putting in Sapal and Casing into the mix.
With the flick on, finding Malaman Soko on the far post. Flag is up. It'll be offside for the number 4. They thought they already got goal number 4 there. Been denied by that offside flag. Going back to those substitutions from Philippine Army, you have Dexter Casing and John Marie Sapal coming in. Sapal, of course, one of the signings for the second round for Philippine Army, coming from the Aguilas UMAC FC program, now playing his PFL season with Philippine Army. And the yellow card is going to be brandished on John Celes. I think there was a commotion with Omaki as well.
If you're Celes, you have to be that much more careful not to rack up the cards. It was hard for the team on attack without him when he had to serve his suspension.
once again unable to make use of the ball up front as Kaya wins it back.
And if you're Philippine Army as well, you'd be a bit lucky that you got away with the offside call for the goal of Malumansoko, as that ball was deflected off a defender of Army before it went to Malumansoko. You have a player down for the side of Kaya FC. Things not going for either side's way. Arboleda picking up a yellow. You have a player down on the opposite end for the side of Kaya FC on that attacking end. And it looks like it's Komaki.
Couple of players as well as the coaching staff. Kaya FC Iloilo pleading their case as Komaki went down. An earlier challenge, I think that was an elbow to the gut. Was off the play and surprisingly in front of Jesus Abogado, who's coming out. Possible yellow card here. While earlier on, Pitch Arboleda got a yellow card and a strong challenge on Celis. Let's see what Abogado is going to be doing here. Aki's still down on the ground, getting some medical attention. Happened in front. Here's a look at what happened out here, Tasha.
Ooh, just a cheap shot there. I have to double check the number on it, but it was a cheap shot from one of the players of Army. The elbow onto the stomach of Komaki. And it was so far from where the ball was. You saw the referee had all his eyes on the ball. And if that wasn't seen by the linesman or the fourth official, I'd say that Army were very lucky to get away with something like that. Something very frowned upon in the game.
We're waiting for Jesus Abogado's decision here. Seems like he's not giving any cards out anymore. And like what you pointed out, he had his eyes on the play that is happening with the ball, even though the cheap shot happened in front of him. Might have not noticed that. It's also surprising that not even the linesman or the fourth official was able to catch a glimpse of the elbow to the stomach from the Philippine Army player towards Shuto Komaki.
And you also know if you're Philippine Army, as the game goes on, if you're losing 3-0, the frustration builds up. And sometimes decision-making of players can be wary.
Philippine Army had a free kick to work with, but unable to make something out of it. As Eric Eso moves forward now on the offensive, looking for Mirbach on that right side. But I was ready for the attack. That's a confirmation of the yellow card on Fitch Arboleda. The challenge on John Celis earlier on before we had the pause. Or we had the break while Komaki was getting some attention.
And you feel that it would add insult to injury when a player from KFC eventually gets a yellow from the play that could have been stopped on the opposite end where the foul happened that was supposedly in favor of Kaya FC. But again, also important for Kaya FC to stay focused on the goal rather than fall for the antics.
I am feeling hard done by with the yellow card on Arboleda, even if Maki was already elbowed in the stomach. Now they're moving forward with Villaseñor on that left side. Trying to free up the attacker on the left. Forward pass, looking for Casing against Pepito. Still missing that shot on target. But a welcoming sign for Philippine Army with that substitute, Dexter Casing, up front, trying his best to catch Pepito off guard.
And it's the best chance that we've seen from Philippine Army. The substitutes quickly proving to be impact players in the game, trying to change things up right away, creating the best chance that we've seen so far from Army.
We're back looking for that diagonal pass for Martin Rey, but unable to keep that in play. It'll be goal kick for Philippine Army. But going back to that play for Dexter Casing, almost finding the back of the net. An open one with Pepito, putting on the pressure. They clear the ball out of danger. Casing unable to head it towards a teammate. Now, Mirbach exchanging passes with Yamazaki. Mirbach onto the right side, but too strong of a pass for Basindana to make use of. Here's the chance from Casing.
That was the touch from the left-hand side from Sapal. Casing continuing on his run. He takes it first time, but you have to give it to Pepito as well. He came out big. He made sure that Casing didn't have enough time on the ball and does enough to shake Casing to send the ball outward.
Foul called against Kaya FC Iloilo in the 55th minute of the match. Trying to play it quick, but Jesus Abogado says, put it back and let's play it from a free kick. Here's Jomare Sapal with the ball forward for Casing, who goes down. Foul is called against Casing. It was a challenge on Arboleda that brought Arboleda down. Casing still on the ground here.
Say that both players had their hands wrapped around one another, but Casing just receiving more of the hand to the face from Arboleda. Arboleda also needs to be that much more careful. He is already on a yellow.
More of a foul baiting there from Casing as both of them had their arms around each other. Mirbach now on the right side looking for the cross, headed out for a corner.
Things definitely heating up at the moment between Philippine Army and Kaya FC Iloilo. You gotta give it to Army, putting up the fight.
Guy was challenged on corner. As he goes down on the ground, free kick is given for Philippine Army.
It's also a reminder to invite everyone as well to come on out to the Rizal Memorial Football Stadium to catch the Philippine Football League live in action here. We have a doubleheader Wednesday. We also have games on the weekend as well. And as I mentioned, that we have players who just walked in, World Cup bound players, with Olivia McDaniel and Chandler McDaniel gracing us with their presence here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium, showing support for Philippine football and the league.
And also coming off from that AFC Women's Champions League campaign in Japan with the Stallion Laguna FC. So if you don't have anything to do this afternoon or this evening, our game later on at 5:45 p.m. will feature Stallion Laguna FC taking on Valenzuela PB Mendiola, which is gonna be interesting given how Valenzuela PB Mendiola made one Taguig FC work for all those 3 points last time out before we head into the international break. And even though they've lost that game by 1-0 through a penalty from Patrick Reichelt, I'm pretty sure that Valenzuela PB Mendiola has earned plenty of respect from everybody in the Philippines Football League after holding the league leaders into just a 1-0 margin.
And also players who have just walked in at the Rizal Memorial Stadium as well. The former or the head coach of the Filipina 5, Coach Rafa Merino, who was recently appointed as well, the new PFF technical director, has made his way to Rizal to come and show support, to scout as well.
Given how a couple of players in the Philippines Football League, in Mike Ott, Aisque Sato, and Patrick Dato, making the final squad that went into a 1-1 draw against Tajikistan. Very close into another Asian Cup appearance for the Philippine men's national football team, but just go short of of that win. Still, kudos to the Philippine men's football team who gave it their all in Dushanbe in that final game in the AFC Asian Cup qualifiers. We go back into live action here as Kaishu Yamazaki sending a ball forward for Mirbach. Martini Ray with a header, looping one, but it's over and out for a goal kick.
And just to give that short correction that Mike Ott wasn't part of the lineup for the recent matchup. It was Manny Ott was there. But you wouldn't be surprised if Mike Ott was there as well. He's really proving his case that he deserves to get called back again with the national team. And at the moment, he's got 12 goals, 10 assists for the side of Kaya FC. He has been the danger player in creating the chances and finding the back of the net for the side of Kaya.
Really easy to be mistaken with the brothers or the odd brothers there as Aya looking for another goal against Philippine Army. Aluman Soko finds Yamasaki. Couldn't thread the needle towards Komaki on that left side. Now on their counter attack, Celis to the right for the number 29 Napolitano, and Malamanzoko will use that huge size of his to protect the ball from Philippine Army.
Maluman Soko brings with him just not just his build, his experience playing in France, but as well as that composure that he brings when he does win the ball back from defenders, able to keep possession, just the confidence that he has as well.
That's the kind of player that Coach Yu Ashida needs in his back line, given the records that they had against the top 4 teams in the Philippines Football League, and with the second round winding down and heading into the championship round, if they hope to defend the title and get that 4-peat in the Philippines Football League, everybody must work hard. Not only Malumanzoko in the back line, but everybody in KFC Iloilo as we head into another cooling break, which we are already getting used to. A 15-minute interval in terms of the water break that we have in the game, and like what we said, the implementation or the updates in terms of the implementation of the cooling break, especially in a country like Philippines where at the start of the match we had about 34 degrees Celsius to start with. Medyo malamig na ngayon, medyo mahangin, but still you couldn't play well under that sweltering heat of the sun and not get a cooling break. So kudos to the referees as well in making those judgment calls on those cooling breaks.
Of course, the hydration breaks are very important for all the players and the referees as well. And to keep, of course, this game played at the highest level possible. And when you talk about KFC defensively as well, despite them being number 4 at the moment, after Wontegig, they do have the second best defensive record. After them, it would be Manila Digger and Cebu, who have 12 goals scored against them. KFC have 11. And Wontegig currently with only 3 goals scored against them. Just immaculate stats for the side of Wontegig. And it's a chase for everyone else.
Wontegig showing everybody how league leaders should play. Only 3 goals conceded in the entire league so far, but that's going to be under threat, given that they're going to be facing a couple more teams in the upper half of the standings. Meanwhile, on the attack goes Philippine Army, but Fitch Arboleda was alert to the possibility and clears that out for a goal or for a throw-in.
That's right. The next match of Wontegig is definitely going to be a big one, and I'm sure all eyes will be on their game against Cebu. They will have to travel to Cebu. Cebu have not lost in their home stadium this season so far in the PFL League.
It's been a fortress down south for the Gentle Giants, which is going to be up for a challenge against the league leaders, as Kaya now in 4th place, trying to defend a clean sheet and looking to add more to their tally. Yamazaki goes back to Odimenzi. Now moves forward with Arboleda on the left side. Good pass looking for Martini Rey up front. Martini with a chance, leaves it for Komaki, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, and what a lovely play for Kaya FC Iloilo to get their 4th goal of the match.
And you gotta say that that's been the best goal so far for Kaya FC. There was a complete team goal. It started with the back. Pepito able to get out of the press from the Army players, pressing the goalkeeper of Kaya FC. And after they were able to pass the ball around defensively, able to find the pass down the middle, find Martini Rey up on top, that heel back pass, faking out the defenders. And look at that run from Martini Rey, attracting the 2 defenders. That heel back pass, Komaki with time and space, uses the inside of the foot, places it to perfection to that far right, making it a 4-0 for Kaya FC. Fantastic team effort to get the goal.
With that 4th goal for Kaya FC Iloilo, you've seen it a couple of times already in this game. Our quad vision replay makes its way back into the broadcast. It's a 65th minute goal for Shuto Komaki and Kaya FC Iloilo, who are now firmly in the driver's seat for this match and on course for another 3 points after going winless over the last 4 games here in the Philippines Football League.
And in this game so far, it was 4 goals. There have been 4 goals so far for Kaya FC and 4 different goal scorers. Opening the floodgates was Maikot in that first half, doubled up by Menzi. 3rd goal came from Martini Rey. And just a few minutes ago, the goal from Komaki.
Still far from the first round result that they had, where they won 12 goals to 0 over Philippine Army, but still 3 points is what's important for IFC Iloilo in the hopes of defending the title and getting that 4-peat. Only a few teams in Philippine club football setting has achieved such feat. I think the last one was Ceres Negros FC, if we are correct with our records. But with Kaya now, 3 titles in the bag and looking for the 4th. Komaki unable to convert from close range for his 2nd goal of the game.
Gotta love the connection between Rey and Komaki. Just the awareness of the positioning. One player running towards the ball, Komaki adjusting to him. Martini Rey so aware of where Komaki is, setting himself up
Maki just unable to connect with Mike Ott down the middle. Celis, or Viray rather, calming things down for Philippine Army. Passing on the right side, being challenged by Komaki. Finds Sapal. Celis gives the 1-2. Ariola sitting deep on their side, through ball for Celis. Opportunity for Celis, sending it out wide for Philippine Army, and John Celis. Golden opportunity gone begging there for the number 28.
A great sequence of passing for the side of Army. Sapal connecting with the midfielder Napoletano, finding Celis on the run. But Pepito made the angle as small as possible for Celis.
Gotta love the efforts of Pepito. That passage of play as Eso on the right side now, finding Basindanan, who's looking for a short cross. Finds a defender instead. I think Villaseñor might have hurt himself in the process of clearing that ball out, as Odimenzi sends it out for fair play and allow some substitutions to happen as well for both sides. It's going to be Jesse Kyle Bilgira, who will make way for the number 90, Renz Paul Gumban, for Philippine Army. Then you have Mike Ott making his way for Jan Meliza. You also have Kaishu Yamazaki checking out for Marvin Angeles. Then you have Pati Malumansoko making his way for Tayo Toyoda.
Player number 26,
Three like-for-like changes
is
here
replaced
for
by
Coach Yu
player
Oshide,
number 90, Renz Paul
giving some
Gumban.
rest for the starters and allowing the key players as well
Kaya
in
FC Iloilo. Player number 5,
Jan Meliza
Mike Ott,
as well as
replaced
Marvin
by
Angeles
player
into
number
this
10,
game.
Jan
Take
Meliza.
note, Jan Meliza scored the hat-trick
Player number 4,
in the first round matchup against Philippine Army, so he's
player
going to
number
be a
2,
goal threat
Tayo Toyoda.
in the remaining minutes
Player
of this
number
game
88,
against Philippine Army.
Kaishu Yamazaki is replaced by player number 8, Marvin Angeles.
Marvin Angeles with his first touches of the ball. So does Jan Meliza, looking for that through pass. Maki is not ready for it. Also on the other side for Philippine Army, we've missed that. That was Renz Paul Gumban who checked in for the number 26, Jesse Kyle Belgira. Now Meliza on the attack for Kaya with the strike. That goes straight to the gloves of Carl Viray, as that was coming from a weak foot from the number 10. Celis once again looking to start the attack for Philippine Army, covered by Jan Meliza. It'll be a throw-in for the green shirts. About 20 minutes to work with. Get their goal here in this game. Celis past Boleda. Ariola with a cross. Toyoda with a block. That'll be a corner for Philippine Army. If I'm right, this is Philippine Army's first corner of the game. Celis with the delivery. Odimenzi with the clearance. Janjan Melisa looking to clean that up. An interception here from Napolitano, who goes down. A yellow card as well for, it was for Basindanan.
So now Kaya FC, both left back and right back on yellow cards. Arboleda and Basindanan. Napolitano able to get to the ball first before Martini Ray, and Basindanan just getting more of Napolitano rather than the ball. The chance for Army to just spoil the party, maybe break the clean sheet for the side of Kaya FC.
The shot straight to the wall. They have another chance though. Kasing giving chase. Marvin Angeles with the interception. Shuto Komaki goes for the 1-2 for Martini Ray. And now Melisa sends it to the other side for Mirbach. Open left side. Martini Ray. Too strong of a first touch, but it's still in play. Angeles not ready for the pass, and Viray gathers for Philippine Army. He will start the counter-attack for Celis. Stops, thought about it, and takes it back. Philippine Army.
What a pass from Julius Mirbach to find the two players running toward there, but just a miscommunication between Ray and Angeles. A touch too heavy for Ray. Tried to give it and set up Angeles, but the pass was given behind the run. And Kaya are on the attack once again.
Mirbach once more on that right side, looking for the cross, unable to find Melisa. Komaki is there to help out. Arboleda, reset of play for Kaya. Enriqueso finds Odimenzi with a quick pass for Arboleda on the left. Keeps it in play for Komaki, but Kasing is there to cover for Philippine Army. Now Celis thinking about the next move. Couldn't get past Toyoda. Clips him in the process as well.
Toyoda taking advantage of his physicality. As Celis gets a touch to it, he just blocks out the next touch of Celis, eventually attracting the foul from him as well.
Last quarter of play here. There is a Memorial Stadium between Philippine Army and Kaya FC Iloilo. 4-0 in favor of the defending champions, and they're chasing for more as they look to pick themselves up after a dry spell in the last 4 games. Mirbach, the pass to Ray, touch too heavy once again for the number 77. It has been covered by Villaseñor. Martini wins it for Kaya. Brings it back for Eso. Kaya have the opportunity to play from the back. They have the time on their side in the goals as well. If you're Kaya, you'd be chasing for more goals given that goal difference. Something that's going to be a factor as well in the standings. Mirbach looking for the cross. He's asking for handball as well, but nothing given. For the throw-in. Substitution once again for Kaya FC Iloilo.
For that, the referee has called for another cooling break, and will most probably be the last cooling break for this matchup between Philippine Army and Kaya FC Iloilo. Mardiano by the sideline as well, waiting to be introduced into this matchup. Player who's usually in the first 11. now come on to this matchup as a sub.
Coach Yu Yoshide making use of the rotation of the squad coming from the international break. As you see, Philippine Army had a chance of their own earlier on. They've been defending well, but 4-0 goes to the side of Philippine Army. And this is a lovely sequence of play leading to that goal for Shuto Komaki, who happens to be the 4th goal scorer of this game for Kaya.
It's one of the few chances that Philippine Army had on the opposite end as well. After that, it was continuously on the attack once more. And unlucky for them. Second half, they've only scored a goal. But they did score 3 goals in that first half to make this 4-0 so far in favor of Kaya FC. Goal scorers in Maikot, Martin Ray,
Substitution for Kaya
Odi
FC
Menzi,
Iloilo. Player number
and
24,
Shuto Komaki.
Sherwin Basindana, is replaced by player number 12, Mar Vincent Diano.
That was a confirmation of the substitution. Mar Vincent Diano comes in for Sherwin Basindanan. Most likely he's going to be slotting into that right back role for Coach Yu Yoshide. They have a corner themselves with Janjan Meliza to take. Right on for Kaya. And out for a goal kick.
Army able to deal with that corner opportunity well. And as we go further and further into the league, first round done and dusted. We're towards the end of the second round before we go on to the classification round in the third, where the top 6 are separated from the rest of the table.
That's where Kaya FC is sitting at now in 4th place. They know that they are not going to make it to the top of the standings anymore given the disparity in terms of points with One Taguig FC. So the remaining games for Kaya is about getting themselves that momentum they need in the championship round, as Janjan Meliza frees himself up and looking for Mirbak on the right side. Would have opted to go for the goal, but for the pass for Mirbak. Again, we're talking about Kaya FC Iloilo just steadying themselves up ahead of the championship round, where the standings or the records from the first and second round will carry over to the championship round. So still every win or every point counts for IFC Iloilo, who's looking to defend their title. It's going to be an uphill climb for them, given that One Taguig FC has introduced themselves as the new contenders in town, and rightly so with the records they have for their side. Only 3 goals conceded. That's going to be up for a debate this weekend, as they'll be facing Cebu, the Dynamic Herbs Sports Complex. Mirbak look for the cross or the shot. Straight to the side netting. It goes for a goal kick.
A bit disappointing from him this afternoon. Hasn't had that effect in this game as he has in their previous outings. And also the game later between Mendiola and Stallion, definitely going to be a big one, especially for the side of Stallion Laguna FC if they want to secure their slot in the championship round. They are currently at 6th place, right above that red line over Maharlika. And that's why the games towards the end of the second round are just that much more interesting in the league.
Martin Ray has been caught by the offside flag once again in this match against Philippine Army. Again, I want to go back to your point there, Tasha, with Stallion Laguna taking on Valenzuela PB Mendiola. We've seen what Valenzuela PB Mendiola can do against the league leaders in One Taguig FC. If they could give that much trouble to the league leaders across 90 minutes, or not even 90 minutes, they played a total of 105, I think, in that game. So it's more of a game and a half. Will be interesting how they pair up against Stallion Laguna FC, who's just flirting that classification round and the championship round, separated by 2 points. But a chance here for Philippine Army as Kasing goes for the counterattack, still sending that out wide, giving credit once again to Pepito, cutting the angles for Kasing.
So far, Pepito hasn't had to make any saves in this game, but he's had to position himself very well. And he's done that once more, not allowing Army to have the time and space to take a proper shot on target.
So, goes down. Still, play continues for Kaya. With about 7 minutes remaining in this game. Talking about Pepito, just positioning himself well on all of the chances that Philippine Army has. He might have to defend another one here as Kasing, looking to keep the ball for Philippine Army, has been fouled by Janjan Meliza. Sapal starts the free kick. Celis looking for that through ball. Heinz Gumban up front. Celis takes a shot against Pepito. Saved it well. That might have been the first time that Pepito has been called into an actual save in this game. Yano sends the ball forward, but straight to Viray.
Army defensively have been playing much better if you compare it to the first round between Philippine Army and Kaya FC. As you mentioned, in that first round, there was a whopping 12-0 victory for Kaya FC. And the Philippine Army can close out this match, not allowing Kaya FC to score any more goals, would be a better result for them in terms of the growth that they've had from the first onto the second round.
Quite a huge difference between the first and the second round fixture between these two sides, as Eric Esso missed the opportunity on goal. Was the moment for Kaya as they wanted to start very well in the season, posing their will over Philippine Army FC with a 12-0 win in the first round fixture. Now just 4-0, still 3 points looking to be in the bag for Kaya as Janjan Meliza moving forward and taking a strike. Viray with another save.
Of course, the setup of Philippine Army is very unique because they cannot pick up players outside of their ecosystem. So it's players who have to join the Philippine Army to be able to play for Philippine Army Football Club. And during the Feb window, you also have the likes of Jomaray Sapal, who played for Aguilas, and Darwin Regalo, who came from Manila Digger. So these have been good signings or pickups for the side of Philippine Army, which you feel have helped them transition to better performances in the second half.
We'll have another substitution here for Kaya FC Iloilo as the goal scorer Martini Rey is checking out for player number 30 Lucas Del Rosario. Of course, Martini Rey with a goal and an assist to his name. What a performance for the number 77, living up to our expectations as the player to watch
for
for Kaya FC Iloilo, and he has
Player
produced the
number
goods
77,
for
Martin
Kaya
Uribe,
FC
replaced by
in this
Player
game.
number 30,
Quick throw in
Lucas
though
Del
for
Rosario.
Kaya, taken away.
And not just that as well, if you're Martini Ray, you've scored in back-to-back outings for the side of Kaya FC. You want to be able to secure your first 11 spot, not just be flirting around, being in the first 11 and not.
Ariola on the other side getting a shot on goal, but unable to get that on target. Pito being challenged there, but of course, the goalkeeping coach turned goalkeeper in this game for Kaya, being bothered that much by Jimuel Ariola.
We can see it in a short moment for Philippine Army, that when they do attack, when they get their passes going, they are dangerous on the attack. They know where their teammates are running. They know how to give the ball to the attacking players. And that was Ariola just getting the better of Diano. Left-footed shot across the face of goal. And if they can just fine-tune those chances, you could expect better results for the side of Philippine Army.
They've had a lot to learn in this season, and they're learning well. As a huge difference in the first round fixture, Lucas Del Rosario looking to add more to Kaya Iloilo's tally, but hitting the right post on that attack.
When you think of Philippine Army and the like of Kaya FC, these are two of the oldest clubs in Philippine football history. Philippine Army FC, correct me if I'm wrong, but has been around since the 1960s. They have also produced national team caliber players with the likes of Ronel Hener, who is now the head coach for the side, and Edward Sacapaño, who is currently also the goalkeeping coach for the national team and for Wantagig.
You also have Boogie Margarce coming in from Philippine Army there. I think he's still listed as a player for their side. So a playing coach, if you may say, for Philippine Army. And I like when you pointed out how these two sides have been going at it since the start of Philippine club football. Well, for Kaya FC, they came on around 1996 in Philippine club football setting. But since then, they've been duking it out. And in the olden days of club football league here in the Philippines, we've seen cards flying whenever these two sides face. Yellow and red, to be precise, whenever they match up. Kaya have progressed throughout the years and have been a force to be reckoned with here in the Philippines Football League, as we have 4 minutes remaining of added time in this game. Komaki looking for the pass to the far post for Diano. Was offside on that play.
4 minutes of added time left. Kaya to try to add up on the tally. For Philippine Army to try to keep this as respectable as possible within the scoreline. Also seen them on the attack. We know that they are capable to still spoil the party as well. Substitutions being made. Naspe coming in. And Margarce, as we mentioned, the one and only Boogie Margarce, 49 years young.
Player number 27,
Was played for the Philippine
is replaced
national
by
team.
Player number 14, John Arthur Naspe. And player number 29,
That he still
Pierre
got it.
Napolitano, is replaced by player number
One of
23,
the old guards in
Astorio
Philippine club
Margarce
football,
Jr.
let alone Philippine football itself. Part of the national team in the past, and still playing here in the Philippine Football League. 17 appearances in season for Philippine Army. Make it 16 now with his introduction in the final minutes of the game. Lucas Del Rosario almost dispossessed. Diana with the cross. Mirbach gonna get the bounce and sends it out for a goal kick.
That was a great ball from that right flank. Ball from Diano onto the run of Mirbach. He was right behind the defenders. Had the time and space. He took it first time. Couldn't get a clean hit to the ball. Sky's the chance.
Have about a minute remaining in this game, and Kaya still probing and looking for that fifth goal. Janjan Melisa with a strike. Sends it over the bar and out.
Combination play down the right-hand side. Diano again able to pick and find the spaces in between. Sets it up perfectly for Janjan Melisa. Had time to take a touch, set himself up. Again, another chance going begging for the side of Kaya FC Iloilo.
Final action of play here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium between Philippine Army and Kaya FC Iloilo. Just seconds away from full time. Eric Esso to Janjan Melisa, who keeps the ball in play, threads it past two players. Goes straight to Viray. Gunazia touches that ball, and he does. Referee Jesus Abogado calls time as the defending champions edge out Philippine Army 4-0. Tasha, what are your thoughts on the entire match that we had?
I have to say that Kaya FC have made a statement today. They're trying to get back to their winning ways, as they haven't had the best of performances or results in their last 4 fixtures coming into this match. And for Philippine Army, take the positives that you can from this matchup. And if you compare it to the first round where Kaya beat them 12-0, you come away from this matchup 4-0 against the defending champions, and that's already a successful step in the right direction. But of course, at the end of the day, what matters most is that win, and Kaya FC, the better team in today's match, gets the win. And they scored 4 fantastic goals, 4 different goal scorers to get on back to the win column.
Kaya FC Iloilo will continue their title defense after winning 4-0 against Philippine Army FC here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. And on behalf of everybody in the broadcast panel, we would like to thank you all for catching this game, and we hope to see you later on at 5:45 as we have Valenzuela PB Mendiola and Stallion Laguna FC next in your 2025-2026 Philippines Football League. We are PFL.
Ladies and gentlemen, final score is Philippine Army FC 0 and Kaya FC Iloilo 4. We thank you for your attendance and hope you enjoyed the match as much as we did. The next match to be played here at the Rizal Memorial Football Stadium is between Valenzuela PB Mendiola FC and Stallion Laguna FC. Kickoff is at 5:45 p.m. Again, we encourage you to visit the official Facebook, Instagram, and X pages of the Philippines Football League with the handle at WeArePFL for more details on the Philippines Football League 2025-26 season. We are PFL!
pasaway lang.
Congratulations on the result. What are your thoughts on the game?
Narinig ba? Again, sorry.
Congratulations on the result. What are your thoughts on the game?
Towards the game, this past week we trained how we attack, and we did it today, the 3 goals or 4 goals. But in the end, everyone worked hard, even though it's so hot, and that's it.
What went well and what went right given the result?
I think everyone was motivated after a long break, no game. So everyone was eager to play today, and everyone played well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have to the fans?
To the Kaya fans, thank you so much for supporting us. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.